because that's the beginning of the marriage, 22 years in. That's the only challenge we've ever had as a married couple.
Hello, everybody. We are back once again for the next series of questions.
All right. So, for those of you who are new here, my name is Crystal. This is my wonderful husband of almost 22 years, and I was requested to talk about how did I get such an amazing unicorn husband? And they wanted to hear from the male perspective why he is, how he is, who he is, what he does. But this is by no means therapy, marriage counseling. We are not experts. We are not. This is by no means therapy, marriage counseling. We are not experts. We are not.
We don't know it all. This is just snapshots of our history.
Snapshots are history, things that have worked for us, and maybe they can work for you. But at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you and your relationship. So, what are we talking about today?
Let's see what this has to say.
I'm getting it because I can't read my writing. I can barely read it. It is, some hard challenges that we've had in our marriage that we've had to face. Well, one of the first ones, unless you want to go, you want to start?
No, go ahead.
So we basically met the same year we married.
Wow.
We met maybe like a November, December time frame. We were married by that next December.
Yep.
And we had a baby by that June. And right after we had that baby, my youngest is June 3rd is his birthday. He went to a year deployment to Korea on July 5th. So that was very challenging because I was left with 3 small kids. He was literally across the world, and it was extremely challenging.
That's basically the same thing that I was going to say. I was hoping you had said something different so we could give different perspectives. But
what do you mean?
Yeah, leaving to go to Korea for a year, knowing that after the 6-month mark, I come back for a month, but then I have to leave again for the remainder half of that year. That did make it a little hard, considering that we were just basically starting as a family. And yeah, most of the time at that time, you would leave the webcam and stuff up so that.
Oh yeah, this is webcam days, right? This is what, 2004?
Yeah,
it's like 2004. Yeah.
So when I came back home from work or whatnot, you guys would usually sleep, but I could see like into the room with her and Junior, Trail, or whatnot. But yeah, it was a harder time, difficult time. But
And then when he returned, we headed to Japan for 7 years. So the first 8 years of our marriage was apart and then apart from family. So we were apart from each other for the first year, and then we were apart from family and friends for the next 7 years. So it was a lot. I feel like in our situation, as far as being a military couple, the military either makes or breaks you. It is not everybody is equipped for it. I think it a little bit different for me because I grew up military. My father was in the military. My grandfather was in the military. So I was used to being away from extended family, and I just knew what to expect. I knew military spouses as much as I could as a child, but I don't know. It forces you to figure it out because you can't run to mom or dad because they are.
Yeah, focuses you two to depend more on each other.
Yeah, or not. I mean, there were people that left for sure. But yeah. What other? Because that's the beginning of the marriage, 22 years in. That's the only challenge we've ever had as a married couple. Of course, which we have some questions in there about child rearing, which is a whole thing because we're a blended family, which is another dynamic. So there's lots of little nuances, right? Because we didn't do things very traditionally. I had 2 children prior. He had been married prior. We were a military family. We were separated very early, and then we were separated from family and friends very early. Blended. There's just a lot of different nuances, but as time went on and we navigated all the things, I think the next big challenge was us deciding to move abroad, which I think there's questions in there as well, going into further detail about that. But one of the biggest catalysts, I don't know, you okay if I say it? We talked about it already. I talked to him about it already, but let's see. When do you think you knew? And I think this might actually be a question, but we had talked about living abroad because, like we said, the first 8 years, 7 years of 8 years of our marriage were abroad. So, and I started elementary school abroad. I started elementary school in Germany. So I always knew that I had no problem with moving abroad and moving out of the US permanently. But one of the major catalysts was when he was diagnosed, he had cancer. And it was during his healing time that he was on leave from work. He had retired from the military. He was on leave from his civilian job. And I was just like, I had been researching the last few years prior. I was like, do you want to be done? So that was the next big challenge of like, we're really going to do this. We're going to move abroad without the backing of the military, because moving abroad with orders is a lot different than being civilians, independence, if you will. So
And yeah, having to look everything up on your own and having to get an understanding of all the requirements to move to a different country and everything else. Yeah, that was a big step, but I mean, we did it. We're continuing to move forward.
but I think the hard part was, I think when I would tell people that he had cancer, because that's huge. That's a huge life.
Mhm.
I think it was because one, we caught it really early. And so it wasn't this, I don't know. I would tell people and I would say it kind of in conversation, not really realizing the weight of it, because to say like, oh, I'm like, yeah, my husband has cancer or he had cancer and they're just like, wait, what? Cause we were in our early 40s.
Mhm.
So all is well. And, but that's just another challenge. So big, big, those are pretty big. Yeah, I think, but what do you think made it so that we figured it out? Or
Um, uh, you might not like it, but I think the fact that we were a military family, we had to figure it out early on. So coming to figure it out at the later part of life was just
the later part of life, like we're in their 70s.
it was just kind of second nature. Because yeah, true enough, a lot of Americans, a lot of people like, what, you moving out the country?
No.
It's like, or they would never consider moving out of the country.
Yeah. We didn't tell a lot of people though.
No, but I'm just saying the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it came to us being like, you know what, let's just move out of the country, that was kind of almost second nature because we've already moved so much outside the United States as a military family. So,
but that was one part. What about you having cancer, or you have like?
me having cancer, I mean, I'm glad that we were able to beat it and push through. Yeah, it was a medical hurdle to get through because we didn't know for sure how well the treatment would take or how the surgery would take, not treatment, but and in some parts still dealing with some of the aftermath. Sometimes I still feel like I guess my energy level, my normal energy reserves that I normally always felt I had aren't necessarily there.
So how long has it been?
5, 6 years now.
It's going about 5 years.
Yeah.
He's diagnosed in 2020. 21. No, you were diagnosed in 2021. Yeah, 2021. So
4 years. Feels longer, I guess.
I know, I'm like 5, 6 years. Not quite.
I guess it feels longer.
Yeah. Okay. So look, share in the comments something that maybe a challenging part of your dynamic, whether it be something solo that you have to face together or something as a couple, or yeah, share. And then how did you overcome it? I drop in the comments some of the challenges and how you've overcome them, and we'll see you for the next episode.
Till next time.
Bye.